Hello, this is James, and we're going to do a video demonstration of how to use iOMG for iPad as a document presentation tool. So what we have here is we have two iPads running, and one iPad we're going to actually begin the meeting. We're going to call it Creating a Business Plan. We're going to go ahead and type that in on one iPad and hit the Start Meeting button. After the meeting starts, we need to get some documents into the meeting. I'm going to show you how to use the iOMG Doc to Desktop, and we're going to upload that document from a browser. So as we can see, the meeting number here is 517-132-31. So that's 517. Hit upload. 517. 13231, and then the upload key is located right here where you see upload, and that's SZNS for this meeting. I'm going to browse our desktop, and we're going to pick up this business plan template that I found on the internet, and we're going to go ahead and upload that to the meeting. And then the website will show you that that document has been successfully uploaded. And you'll notice here on the iPad that the document shows up. There's 31 pages. We can go look at that document and use the swipe gesture to change pages. And here we're just looking at the document. We don't have anybody in the meeting yet. So let's go back home on your iPad. And we're going to tell our guest to use that same number. 517-132-31. So let's have them. You're going to tell your guest to type in 517-132-31, and they're going to join your meeting. Now back on your device, over here on the left-hand side of your device, you're going to be able to see who joined your meeting. And we see iOMG presentation demo, and that's this iPad here. That is the presentation demo iPad, and we're going to go ahead and enable that attendee. That'll allow him to actually look at the document. So on the second iPad, the attendee iPad, we can now look at the document that was uploaded to the meeting that was created by our first iPad over here. So let's go back on the attendee iPad, and you see here it says waiting for presenter. That is waiting for the first iPad, the presenting, the host iPad, to actually begin transmitting a page. And you see that it switched here and said session in progress, tap sync to follow. So this is the attendee. He taps that button, and now he's in automatic sync mode. Back at the first iPad, when we change pages and transmit that page, you'll notice that the page changes on the second iPad in the background. So here we move to page 4, and the iPad over here is showing page 2. If you can see that here, page 2. And we're going to go ahead and select that and say present page, and it moves to page 4 on the second iPad. Now another feature that you can use, here you've created your meeting, and let's look at these boxes here on the right hand side. You can show in slideshow presentation is what we've been using. Let's actually shut that off. And now, when your attendee goes into the meeting and goes to the document, notice now that they can view all the pages. Now, this is something you might choose to only allow the user to be in slideshow presentation, and that way it's more of a flipboard. They won't be able to move forward in the document. They'll only be able to see the page that you have presented, which we're going to change to page 2 here. and hit present this page, and you can see that your guest, when they're in auto sync, will be on page 2. And we're going to have the host here move to page 3. And we see the guest in the background move to page 3 also. So again, we're going to move to another page, page 4. If we tap on the document, the menu bar pops up and we're saying present this page. And you'll see the page switch on the iPad here in the background. Another way that we have that you can control what is being presented is by scrolling on your iPad to a particular page. You can select it, look at the documents, and then choose by tapping the gray button. When it turns green, it's the page that's being presented. As you can see, the iPad in the background changed to page 9, and we're controlling it here. We're saying the presentation page is page 9. So during your presentation, you might want to look around, be able to look at papers or pages of documents before you want to transmit that page. Once you move around, you can always go back to the page that you're showing to your audience, to your attendees, by tapping Show Presented Page. At the bottom of the document, you'll notice that it shows the number of attendees, and this is the feedback status, which we're going to take a look at. On the attendees device, they have 3 buttons at the bottom. Ask for ask a question, Go when they're interested in you moving along in your presentation, or Board or Negative when they want to give a negative feedback. So here we're going to go ahead and press Go, and it says your positive feedback has been sent to the presenter, and you'll notice down here on the presenter's iPad, on the bottom right hand corner, it now shows 100%. If we press Board, or your attendee presses Board, you'll notice that our feedback is now 50-50. 1 positive we gave as the attendee, 1 negative we gave as the attendee. If your attendees would like to ask a question, they can tap the Ask Question. And type in a question and send the question. Here you'll notice on the host that he now has 1 question available. Now, at this time, the host must go back to the page, to the meeting page, and tap on the Attendee button to read what the questions are. Let's go back to the document. So again, when attendees are coming and going, you can see how many attendees you have, including yourself, and whether or not they're actually in the meeting, or if they leave the meeting. In other words, you have an attendee who leaves that meeting, is no longer current in that meeting, or decides to close his iPad app. You'll see here on your device that the attendee should go from being present to not present. You see here his icon grayed out, and it says he's not present. Now when your attendee comes back and goes into the meeting, you'll notice that his status on your device goes back to being present. This link here is being shown broken. That's because your attendee is not in sync with your meeting. Now that the attendee has gone into sync, you'll see that the link closes, showing that he's on the same page